Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Freeman Files here on the J Free 906 podcast channel. Tom Burns, how you doing, sir?
We are so back.
We are so back, and we are getting so close. Oh my gosh, yeah, just a couple of months, a few months away from getting started with the Curse of Oak Island season number 13. Oh my gosh.
The
Yeah,
speculation world is a buzz.
the speculation world is definitely a buzz, and that's where we are headed here today, right here. Tom, you kind of nailed it back on July 14th. We
Excuse me.
were talking a little bit about our last news at noon.
hmm
You said drill, baby, drill.
Yep. And it looks like they're going to be doing some drilling.
And they're going to be doing some drilling. Hey, folks, thanks for joining us here today. We're going to be talking a little bit about some of the things happening that we've seen happening, or looks like it's happening, things going across the causeway that we can speculate about a little bit. Thank you for joining us here today. Looking at some of the folks here that have come by. Michelle, hi. Kat's here. Ann's here. Joe's here. Kevin, how you guys doing? Glad. Thank you so much for popping by. There has been a lot of interesting equipment going across the causeway here lately. And so obviously that brings up the speculation department to start looking at this
Yep.
stuff and trying to figure out what in the world are they going to be doing with some of this equipment. Some of it, as we well know, Tom, showed up out the island last year, but then they never used it as far as we
Didn't
can
use it.
tell.
No, they didn't use it.
Yeah. So
The only thing they really used was the airlift system, but that was
Mhm.
only for TOT1, and that was it. One and
Exactly.
done.
Yeah, one and done, and that was all over. So, all right, real quick before we get started here, folks, I did want to give a shout out. Thank you very much to Karen Public Cover. Karen has allowed us to use the pictures that she has on her Facebook group page, which is called Oak Island from the Other Side of the Causeway. And she has many of the pictures that we are going to be showing you here today are from her site, and they are pictures that she has taken as equipment crosses right there in front of her place and her store. One of them that I used was this one here. That's for tonight's thumbnail or today's thumbnail. I'm so used to being on in the evening time. But I did want to also give a shout out to Karen's store as well as her um Facebook group page, her store. And I've purchased some things from her store myself. Matter of fact, I'm wearing one right here on my ring. I wear this ring all the time, love it. I bought it right there at her store. But yeah, here, look at some of the stuff that you are going to have the opportunity to see just by popping by there. And look, here's some more things that they she doesn't create all of this. I believe her sister creates some of it as well, right? So yeah.
Correct. Yep.
um but t-shirts and all kinds of things when you're right there. And believe me, folks, this is right there as you are crossing or about to cross the causeway. You see it right there, Oak Island gifts, crafts, and souvenirs. Boop, right there. And she's got a shed set up, and right there, a very nice shed, and everything is for sale inside. So be sure to stop by and at least say hi to her and check out some of the things that she has. Yeah, Cindy, I do too. We've got several things in this house that are from her store. So believe me, we really love the work that they do over there. So thank you
Yeah,
very much.
when Henry and I visited her a couple of years ago, we didn't walk away empty-handed either. So
It's hard to. The
you
stuff
can't.
is so
It's
cool.
impossible.
Yeah.
The stuff is really nice stuff. It really is.
Yeah, very well made and very
Exceptionally
artistic.
well made. Yep.
Yeah. So be sure to stop by. And again, thank you to Karen for letting us use her pictures today. I also want to give a shout out to this lady right here, Fiona Steele. It is her birthday today. So happy birthday to archaeologist Fiona Steele. All right. And you guys are going to get the opportunity. If you're coming to Oak Island Convention that is happening on the 23rd and the 24th of September, almost just a little more than a month away from right now, we are going to have Oak Island Convention happening, and Fiona is going to be one of the presenters there. Here's our logo for that, and that's going to be, we've got about 10, I think there's 10 more tickets left. That's it, 10 tickets left, and it's sold out. And so you get those tickets over at Tony Sampson's saltydogtours.com. You can also go to my website, jfree906.com, and get more information and click on the links there. It'll take you over to Tony's site. And what you're going to do is purchase a tour ticket from him. and through his site, because it also includes a Tony Sampson Salty Dog Sea Tour as well.
And one other thing to mention on people that are traveling too, people were concerned about air flights and things like that.
Yeah.
Canada strike, as I understand it now, is over.
Oh,
They're
it's over.
they're announcing this morning that the union and Air Canada management came to a tentative agreement last night. So hopefully
Fantastic.
that's not going to cut. That's, I mean, Oak Island Con's still a month away, so
Mhm.
hopefully by then it's all sorted out. But as of this morning, a tentative agreement has been reached.
I just I just read. Thank you for that, Tom. Appreciate it. Yeah, that was a little. It got us a little. Yeah, I got a little worried about that going on. With that Air Canada, because that's where we went last year. We flew from Toronto over to
Yep.
Halifax and went to Air Canada. So big deal there for sure.
They won't leave that shut down too long.
Yeah.
It's too big a national service. So
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like Michelle calls you the solution channel.
yep, we are the solutions channel.
The solutions channel. All right.
You
Well, thank
never
you.
know which way we're going to go.
Exactly. And also, don't forget that the tours are happening on Oak Island right now. I believe they're just happening on the weekends still. They got the trams there. They take you around the island. I can't give you all the details about things because honestly, I haven't been there yet. But go to Oak Island Legends .com and check it out because that's where all the info is. oakislandlegends.com. We're going to be doing this when we get there in September, so be sure to get set up for this. If you're coming to uh, Nova Scotia for any particular reason, you really should do this. This is really going to be a great time to people back on the island, the public. Isn't that great? I mean, man,
Yep.
good times. All right, let's get into it a little bit here with some of the things that have been going across the causeway. Now we've been watching. Thank you again to Karen. We've been watching some of the stuff go across. This baby here we saw. This is the um uh I forgot the wash table or the wash plant.
Wash plant.
The wash plant going
Yep.
across, and this was back in June, as you can see on
June
Karen's
18th. Yep.
date stamp there. And that is set up now over in Smith's Cove where it was before. And they're going to be taking and going through spoils again. I think they were still finishing up with some from last year, weren't they?
They still had something to finish from last year, but from everything I can see from these photos from people on Tony's tour, and thanks especially to Lorraine, who's been sending me a bunch of them.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's done and over with now. So
Mhm. Yeah, so they've been going through that, and also, they're going to be taking out some. They're going to have spoils again, obviously. And so we've got some pictures of why I say that coming up here in just a bit. We've noticed that there has been some drilling going on over by the garden shaft.
yep.
Some shots have been taken over there where they're drilling by the garden shaft. And what do you think is happening um,
I
over
think they're
there?
I think they're doing the same thing they did last year. They got the choice guys poking all over the place. Well, I wouldn't say all over the place now. They got the choice guys going in select locations now between where they left TOT1, and they're still. I don't think they've given up on the garden shaft yet. I mean, they got a real water problem there, right? But I think that whole area with what we've seen for the solution channels maps, what we saw last year in the closing episode of where they had all the different solution channels marked and the depths.
Yep.
I think they're looking for places, and well, they are. It's pretty much confirmed now with the number of caissons going across the causeway. They're looking for places to put more caissons down.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
And
I
there
think
has been a lot.
I would say they've found them because the caissons are there.
Yeah. Yeah. So why would they be going through all this effort with the caissons? Now, we have not yet seen the oscillator show up. I want to point that out. We will not have a picture of the oscillator because it's just, not there yet. But we do have indication of equipment from Rock going across, Rock Equipment Company.
Yep.
And they're the ones that own that oscillator generally that is going
Correct.
out to Oak Island and doing its work. So Rock Equipment definitely, and you see one of the caissons there. And this was a comparison that you had taken from last year to this year, looking at the size of them. So
Yeah,
about
these,
the
these
same.
are Karen's pictures from this year and last year. And I
Mhm.
just wanted to see if we're still dealing with a 7-foot caisson, and my guess is that we are.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
last year's shot and this year's shot. So
yeah. Those beds, flatbeds are 8.5 feet wide. So
mhm.
yeah, I guess you're right. That's about a
I'm gonna s-
7
I'm
foot
gonna say they're
case.
7 footers, but
Yeah, I'd say
I
so
mean
too.
it to me. It only makes sense to bring a 7 footer
Mhm.
because the one you get in the ground's a 7 footer,
Yep,
and if you bring a different size, then you're going to be hauling two oscillators around,
exactly. And then
and
what?
that
Yeah,
means
that doesn't
yeah.
make good sense.
But anyway, that's just my guess.
Mhm.
That's what we do.
Yep, and there's some more. This was 2024. We had rock marked on the side of that big crane
Yeah.
uh, part, but not on this year's, but
Well,
same
it's the
model.
same model. I'm
Hmm.
guessing it belongs to SB or someone contracted by SB Canada,
Hmm.
and that those are I call them fridge decals. You can just walk them out, slap them onto anything metal.
Yep.
So when rock gets there, I expect you'll see their sticker back on there again.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've seen the crane parts going over the booms and
Oh yeah,
parts of that going across
exactly the
too.
same
So
equipment. Yep,
yeah, yeah,
exactly
same
the
as
same.
last year. All that's
Same
out
as
there.
so it tells you we're going to see a repeat performance.
Yes, exactly. This was the interesting, and this was the picture that we had shown when we went live back in July and talked about it. This was a new drill rig that's
Mhm.
out there, or part of it anyway, that's out there, and wondering about why. We saw this is it standing up, or a model of it actually
Mhm.
standing up. Tom put these pictures for us together. It can operate a lot of different types of equipment.
Yeah, you got the big bits on the end of it, as you can see, the big drill augers,
Mhm.
right? And it can go on an angle. It can drill on an angle and put smaller caissons tubes in on
Yeah.
an angle. So it doesn't have to be the caisson can have a bit of an angle, but primarily with the caisson and the oscillator, you wanted it at perpendicular to the ground.
Mhm.
But this thing can go on an angle.
And that might be
Very
just what they're
important.
looking to do. I don't.
That could be very important.
You remember when, we talked to Vanessa? We talked to Vanessa, not just a couple months ago,
Hmm.
and we had her on the podcast, and we asked her a couple questions about doing that, and she said, and this was in relation to Skinwalker Ranch, but she had said that you can put a case on in at an angle, a little bit of an
Hmm.
angle. So keep that in mind. Here's some pictures. Now, Tom had taken this again with this drill head, had gotten this picture here for us. And lo and behold, look what's shown up.
Look what appears.
Look what appears going
And
across
look
the
at
causeway.
the size of them compared to the flatbed. Would
Yeah.
they not fit inside a 7 foot caisson?
I think it might just be the perfect size to fit
Mhm.
inside
And look how
of a
many
7
there are,
piece. Yes.
right? We're,
Why
we're,
so many?
so do you need multiple augers or is this going to create one huge auger,
Mhm,
right? Rather than say, I mean, a flatbed is these flatbeds are, the average flatbed's 48 feet long.
mhm.
So, I mean, you're talking, those things have got to be 10 feet, So, I mean, you put two or three of them together, you're hauling up 30 feet worth of whatever at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the big thing with the augers is you're hauling stuff up.
Yes, and that's what I was thinking about with that hammer grab. I
Hammer
mean, if
grab
you
hits it and drives it down. And remember, they had the problem with the downward motion of the caisson creating the plug.
Mhm,
Well,
yep.
you put those in, drill out, even drill beyond your caisson, let your caisson slide down. So you're no
Ah,
longer driving stuff down into a solutions channel.
might see a completely different type of
Could be a
means
whole
by
new,
which to get the caissons in the ground this year, and
yep,
the spoils coming out rather
yep.
than the hammer grab going down
Mhm.
there, and, you might get this, auger bringing the dirt up as it does its auger work.
Well, we've seen that before, right? With the collapses around the caissons,
Mhm,
right? They're driving stuff down, creating voids.
yep,
Well, this way, the big fear, and as when we talked with Vanessa, the big fear was that if you take TOT1 out,
mhm.
then you bury whatever is at the bottom of TOT1,
Exactly,
right? So
exactly,
you have to leave it for now
right.
until you figure out what you're going to do with it.
And remember too that that TOT1 caisson is supposed to be sitting on top of bedrock with access into the solution channel.
Correct.
That's why they had done that. So, and they were doing a airlift process through that gap, I guess. I'm going to call it a gap. I don't know what a ledge
Exactly what it
or
is. It's a hole
yeah,
or a gap. Yep.
yeah, into the solution channel, and they were doing an airlift out of it last year to see what they could pull up from it. So
Hmm.
I would think that they're, if you like you just said, if they take that out, they have to backfill
Hmm.
that caisson, and then they're going to backfill right
You bury
into
whatever's there, and if there's a solutions channel, how much do you have to put in to,
exactly.
depending on the motion and the flow and etc.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, what goes with it? How
Yeah,
far does it travel?
yeah, I-
You
yeah,
know, I don't know.
exactly. We're gonna find out this year. I think we're gonna get exploratory data from the solution channel a lot this
I
year.
think
I think
so.
that's one of the main things that they wanted
Yeah.
to do because as you heard them say, they were thinking that it got pushed down into the treasure, got pushed down into the solution
Hmm.
channel. And
So
now that's
why
where
would
they
you
gotta go.
then dump more stuff on top of it?
Exactly. Don't put more crap in there because you'll
Mhm.
never find it for sure. So they got to go about a different means by which to get in there. And again, this is the speculation department. We are
Oh
not
yeah,
hearing from the folks on the island. They're
we
not
have no
giving us
idea.
information. So we don't know exactly what they're doing. But based upon what we're seeing and what research Tom has been doing, this is our best guess going at
We're
it.
not clueless, but we have clues.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So yeah, so seeing these things going across, really, really good. And this, I
I
saw
have
this
no
on there,
idea
and
what that is.
I'm not sure what it is.
I have no idea. So if anybody out there knows, tell us.
The one thing I did notice on it, and see here how this has that square shank on it.
Yep.
Okay, and I noticed that this thing here looks like it has
Yep.
also a square. So it's going to go onto that drill rig and do something, but what? Not quite sure.
No
We'll
idea.
we'll find out hopefully. Now, that drill rig that we were talking about, it showed up out at the island a long time ago, back in July, and it was
Mhm.
sitting off on the western side of the money pit for the
Correct.
whole time and just didn't move.
Hasn't moved in 2 months.
Right, it just sat there. So now things are starting to happen over here a little bit, and
Mhm.
things are moving around. Tom, we got this picture. This was from Lorraine. Thank you
This is
again,
from
Lorraine.
Lorraine. Anything you see, I put an LL on. Those are from Lorraine. So
Yep, and
thank you,
again, thank
Lorraine.
you to her for showing these to or sharing these with us. But yeah, now it looks like it's been moved into some sort of position.
It's definitely been moved. And look at the
Yeah,
caissons to the left of it.
yeah. There's a lot of caissons over here. Yeah, piled up on the ground, and you know where they put those?
Yep.
Basically on the hillside or down on the money pit
They're
up against the
ju-
hillside.
yeah, they're just to the left. They usually put them stacking them just to the left of the, if you're looking at it from the water,
Hmm.
just to the left of the garden shaft,
Exactly.
which
Yep.
would then put this drill rig somewhere roughly about in front of the garden shaft. It's roughly if it's not at TOT1, which is my guess, it's within feet of TOT1.
Hmm. Yep. And we have some more caissons coming out there. Gosh, I mean, they've got a lot of. I mean, I would say there has to be another 200 feet worth at
Initially,
least.
I couldn't figure out what the heck they were doing because the initial shots that Karen had
Mhm,
only showed about another 50 or 60 feet of caisson going
mhm.
across
Yep.
right from back in like several weeks ago.
Yep.
And now in the last 3 days, if you take that a flatbed is say 48 feet long, right? There's probably those big caissons are probably 20 feet apiece.
Yep.
So there's 500 or there's 100 feet right there
Yep.
in one day. Add that to the 50 or 70 or 80 feet or whatever's over there. Now you're up to 180, 200 feet, which
Exactly.
is how deep you have to go.
Yeah.
So why do we need two caissons 200 feet long? Because we already have one on the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
That caisson stuff's not piled up, right? So why do we need two caissons now
Mhm.
that are 200 feet long?
Yeah. Well,
Is somebody going tunneling? I don't know.
I think so. I think somebody's going in. Yeah, here's just another, and this was just today, as a matter of fact. This one, another couple of them. So for 48 feet, another couple 20s going across right now. That was today, just a little while ago. So yeah, we've got a lot of caisson equipment out there right now. So it's that's fantastic. Now here's a picture of something that I was wondering. Now is this the Rustall shack right there?
I don't know.
Is that the I was wondering if that's the
Wouldn't it be over
rebuilt
by the
image.
swamp?
Yeah, but I don't
I
remember
don't know.
where it was initially when they were doing their work. Did they initially I thought here it is. They've been doing all this work down there in Smith's Cove, off
Hmm.
to the east of the where you access Smith's Cove. And I
Yep,
saw this shack, and I thought there was talk at one point about rebuilding the Restall shack. So I
there
didn't know if
was.
they
Yeah,
had actually done it, and was this where it was? If anybody in the chat knows where the Restall shack was sitting originally, let us know, because that's interesting that
it
there
could be.
maybe
Yeah,
it's for the tours
could be.
to show people where the Restall shack was, where
Mhm.
the boys had to sleep. Yeah. Could you imagine the winters? Oh,
No,
sleeping in that shack with very little heat.
should be
So
frosty.
we
Should be frosty.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're gonna keep this here short. We're gonna be
Yep.
trying to wrap this up here pretty quick, but a couple of things also that Tom has done some research onto SB Canada and some of the work that they do. Jet grouting.
Hmm.
Here's another picture here, looking at some of this bore piles, and and here this is very similar to that unit they got out there that's going to be doing this drilling,
Yeah.
but also jet grouting.
This is what I did was I looked up SB. I checked out their website to
Mhm.
see what their specialties were, and their specialties are basically directional drilling. And one of the specialties that they do is it's called jet grouting. Now, initially we talked about shotcreting last year, which is when you dig a tunnel, you shoot concrete and mesh all around it, and
Mhm.
you create a void. Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's not what jet grouting is. Jet grouting is creating a solid mass that basically becomes concrete underground
Mhm.
without having to first create a void to pour the concrete in. It actually injects the grout into the surrounding soil with a jet stream, creates a slurry that then hardens into a concrete like substance, which is really cool
Yeah, it is.
because you can use it to stop water flow,
Mhm.
which is very interesting. You can also use it to support structures. So, for example, if you have a pylon that is sinking in the ground, been there a couple of years, whatever, and it's sinking,
Mhm.
and you want to stop it from sinking, you can go in on an angle, do this jet grouting, and basically create a concrete base under whatever is sinking to stop it from sinking.
Right.
What do we know that's sinking or started to sink?
Well, could it be a particular shaft that was, reconstructed by the guys? And
Hmm.
yeah.
So it can be used for it's actually a pretty versatile stuff. Now, whether they're going to do any of this or not, I have no idea.
So would it be something along the lines of this right here?
There you go. It's also used for waterproofing. So if you wanted to make sure that that structure or pipe underneath the ground was waterproofed, you could go in over the top of it, underneath it, beside it, down next to it, inject this stuff into the ground. It hardens to form a concrete like substance
Mhm.
and it acts as a water barrier. So if you know where you want to stop groundwater from,
Yeah.
I'll just read you what little bit that I found out
Yeah,
here.
please do.
Okay. It says permutation and jet grouting are widely used for groundwater control during underground work, either in conjunction with or in support of dewatering operations. Now, does that sound like a good fit?
It does. It sounds like a very
Okay.
good fit.
Jet grouting can be used to create hydraulic barriers for
Mhm.
containment as well as groundwater control to facilitate access shaft excavation,
Mhm.
access shaft excavation, or to provide a bottom seal for a watertight bathtub excavation, or to bridge gaps in excavations to support systems overhead or subsurface.
Mhm.
Like, is this the magic bullet or what?
I Sounds like
If
it
that's
to
what they're
me.
going to, I mean, I have no idea. I just,
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? I had such high hopes for the garden shaft, and when that thing flooded and they backed out and put the lid and locked the lid on it, I was tore up. I mean, that really, I had put
yeah.
so much into, my desire to see it completed and be used to access the tunnel, that they found that there was the
Mhm.
floor of a tunnel down there.
Mhm.
They found the floor still there. So that and then when it flooded, I was just, man, the wind came right out of my sails. But
Now, again, keep in mind, they don't have to do this jet grouting in a 7-foot caisson, right? They
you're
can
right.
do this in a 2-foot diameter, 3-foot diameter, whatever they want.
Yeah.
So if they're trying to stop flow of water,
Hmm.
right, they could use this thing to create plugs wherever they want,
Yep. Exactly.
or create a base for something to sit on. I don't know, but it's a very versatile
Ah,
piece of equipment and function. So so now we know that they have the ability to do it. They have the company that can do it. We have the ability right now to put in two what it looks to be 200-foot caissons, because the
right.
target depth on TOT1 was 180 some feet.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
So we know there's 180 feet plus already in the ground, plus what they have on top of the ground.
Right.
So to me, they've got enough to do two caissons. Why do we need two caissons at once? They've always ever done one, filled it in, pulled the caisson, moved to the next one.
Yeah. Right.
Why do you need two? Is TO1 going to stay there? Maybe it's going to be permanent.
I think it might. I think it might.
I don't
I
know.
hope it is. And you know what? And don't forget, what did Marty Lagina say right at the end of the season? And I go back to this quite a few times because it was a quote, and then we know that Prometheus does fancy editing sometimes,
Mhm.
but he had said, if the quote is accurate, he had said, "We now have an X marks the spot in the money pit."
Mhm.
I mean, I can speculate all day on that. I mean, that to
Yep.
me, that's a pretty profound statement to say. So, yeah, a honeycomb, I don't know, maybe. It is possible to do it, and I
Mhm.
guess that would be one way of doing it, a honeycomb, but
Yep.
I don't know. We're gonna find out
Well,
this season.
you could also use the honeycomb type approach to create a water barrier.
Yes. Yes. And that would be the smart thing to do.
Yep.
Go
And
across the whole area where you think that the water is intrusion, where its intrusion into the money pit area is, go
yep.
across that area and sink this down and plug it, every single one of them.
Yeah. So, and just my final thought
You're
on that,
making your own
and I
barrier.
know we got to run. We're running out of time. Just because you use jet grouting in part of the hole doesn't mean you have to use it in the entire hole.
Right.
So if you're backfilling a caisson, you could backfill the first 60 feet with regular gravel if you want,
Mhm.
but you know that the water's coming in at the 30-foot level, which would be sea level.
Yep.
You could jet grout, say, from 40 feet down to 20 feet down, create a 20-foot barrier.
Yep. Exactly.
And when you draw your caisson out, the water flow is stopped.
Yeah. And boy, do we need that because the
Anyway,
water has stopped every single
water's the nemesis.
company that has
Water's
tried
the
to get
nemesis,
into the money
and
pit.
having a place to put it. And if you go down, worked it out, a 7-foot caisson, 100 feet deep, so basically 3 tanker cars long, will hold 30,000 gallons of water.
30,000.
30,000 gallons of water. So
Yeah.
that's a lot of water to
That's
stop.
a lot of
So is it
water.
is it not? I don't know. That's all I got. So
David Henderson said, should develop some sort of a prediction contest
mhm,
as to what actually happens this season. Whose idea is closest to reality? We may
mhm,
do that. If you want to check that out, I don't know. Linda wants to do something like that. We'll put it up on our Facebook group page, which is the Curse of Oak Island and Beyond and Skinwalker Ranch. So check it out. Link before or for it down below in the description of today's show. Check on that, and maybe we will do a little type of a contest to see what's happening. But Tom may have it; he may be right. All right, folks, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you very much for joining us here. And don't forget, if you're going to go out to a tour or anytime you're in Nova Scotia, be sure to stop by Karen Public Covers shack right there and her little shop that she has with all these wonderful things that are in there. Oh my gosh. Be sure to stop by and check that out right there as you start across the causeway. Everybody ends up parking in her
yeah,
her driveway and stuff anyway to take pictures.
yep.
Might as well stop in while you're there.
So just remember, no Karen, no causeway.
That's right. That's right. All right, folks, that's all we got for you today. We thank you very much for joining us. And as always, if you haven't already, we really consider, we'd be very pleased if you consider subscribing to the channel and click on that notification bell so you know when we have new content coming out for you. All right. All right. That's it for us. We'll catch you next time right here on the J Free 906 podcast.
See you.